Top of the morning to you. I hope you're all fine and dandy and staying ahead of the game. Remember, it is a game, and each one of us must play our part. Thank you for joining me again in another short video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Facebook post, and I'm going to read it and upload it onto YouTube, because many people don't have Facebook, and I get a lot of people asking me to explain a bit more. And I've done lots and lots of research on Facebook since 2014 really. And so here is one of the posts regarding the new discoveries that I found with recumbent stones. And this can be verified for anyone who takes this information. It can be verified, and they can use this information to find the very things which I have found. So here's the post from Facebook. New discoveries. Recumbent stone circles are unique to the farmlands of the northeastern area of Scotland. They are so called because in a southwestern or southeastern sector of the circle they include a long, low stone, termed the recumbent, wedged in position so that its upper surface is horizontal. The recumbent stone is always carefully aligned and supported so that its surface is as level as possible. The recumbent is flanked by two tallest stones of the circle. These two upright witnesses, together with the large horizontal stone, are called a recumbent setting by those who are scholars. The scholars have always insisted that our ancestors placed these stones together in this way, in this fashion, framing the heavens in order to record time or to monitor repeating celestial observances, often citing that lunar and sometimes even solar alignments were measured by the framing style of these stones. Very little proof exists that these were their stones' original intentions. Unfortunately, nobody seems to know for sure, and so there have developed numerous theories why these unique recumbent stones even exist in Scotland's northeast. They are unique to the northeast, and I have mapped 200 odd, I don't even know, over 200 in the northeast, around the North Celestial Pole. University-educated scholars further maintain and uphold the narrative that they are unable to decipher cut markings, which are always on the base or the side of the two upright flankers. This is ridiculous, because on examination of any of these stones, it does not take long, minutes sometimes, to be able to identify various constellations and their markings. In Aberdeenshire, it is always marking asterisms of the area around the North Celestial Pole, and if we go further south, you'll have Orion's belt marked in the central belt. You'll have the 12 houses of the zodiac marked in the central belt, and then as we travel down over the border, we have the Eridanus and the South Celestial asterisms marked. As many folk will know from my posts, I have had an interest in these things since I was a child. And except for a period of 15 years while I was within religious studies, I have pretty much studied these stones and their alignments most of my life. I am thankful for my religious background and those years within Christianity and Judaism, as it has allowed me to learn new languages which have become very useful when deciphering the standing stones. A number of years ago, I came across an author called L.A. Waddell. He's an old man, back in the 30s and 40s, so he's no longer living. So in his many great works, he makes claims that the standing stones which we see within the British Isles are primarily of Canaanite or Hittite origin, citing that the stones in Aberdeenshire's Upper Donside are carved with Phoenician Hittite inscriptions. For his time, he was well ahead of his time, and he was correct. Because I have studied Hebrew and Aramaic, I too am able to identify much of the text on a few of these stones that still exist in the northeast of Scotland. But this post is not about the Hittite text we find in some of these stones. This post is specifically about recumbent stones of the northeast and what I have discovered about the recumbent stones of the northeast of Scotland. So what are recumbent stones? What do the two upright stones represent, and what of the huge megalith always laying flat between the two? The answer is going to shock some folk, especially those who are still trapped within the Christian interpretations of the scriptures. You see, Christianity and Romanism in particular reinvented the narrative of the standing stones and the message of the heavens, which is the gospel. And they've given us a version of godliness, but deny the true power which comes from above. And it says that in the scriptures. And it also says this: and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Revelation 12. There has been much nonsense and many claims being made regarding these verses, and most of the Bible verses. People ask, did it really happen? It's just an allegorical story, right? It's not real events. That's what most folk have been pushed to believe. It's all allegorical. There's no physical earth or location on the earth where these fallen creatures, beasts, were cast out. Is there? Well, if you have been following this research on my page, you'll know that there is indeed a physical place just below Heaven's Gate where these fallen creatures, angels, made war with the archangels Michael and Gabriel and others. And this great war in the heavens is what is marked on the stones, especially the recumbent stones of the northeast. New research which I am looking at doesn't just suggest that everything's lining up. It suggests that the recumbent stones, the large stone between the two upright stones, are actually representing Cetus the beast, the Pictish dragon. And every recumbent stone circle, which is facing south-west or south-east, is framing the fallen beast, the actual creature itself, immediately laid in front of the stones, as the physical lands and hills, the landscapes immediately ahead. The recumbent stone itself is always facing south, not north, towards the north celestial pole, which is the tree of life, but south, because that is the direction of the south celestial pole and the underworld, where these beasts were cast out to. Now I just had a thought there, our satellite dishes way back in the 90s and 2000s always face south, but that's for another. But yeah, they always face south to the underworld. They were literally cast into the earth, as the Bible says, and two witnesses stood either side of that recumbent stone, that large flat stone, showing the distance and the direction where the beast lay in the physical landscape. I have been mapping the fall of the heavens in this great battle over the spine of Albion, and I hope to make my way down the spine of Albion, releasing videos recording their fall as they went and showing the physical landmass which has become the lands of the British Isles. Everything has been cast out and overlaid over the spine, the British Isles, as the physical dragons and beasts who fell from the north celestial pole. For example, the Wiedelmont stone pictured on the bottom of this post, just outside Rhynie, is framing and marking the upright position of Cetus prior to the fall. So he's upright, he's not upside down, he's not twisted, he's sitting upright and everything's level. So the Wiedemann stones and the cross stain, the Wiedemann stone just outside Rhynie is framing and marking the upright position, the hill of Cetus prior to the fall, and the stone itself at the Wiedemann is missing the second witness. One of the upright stones has fallen or it's been removed, but it clearly marks the original position of Cetus the beast, as the wall, the wall around the garden. And this area is called the hill itself, which is Cetus the beast, and the stars all aligned to it along the hills. Cetus the beast is called Crake Hill. It's in the name, Crake. What's the crake? The kraken. The Wiedemann stones and the cross stain, which is nearby, marks the North Celestial Pole, framing the top of the North Mountain, or hill, as the centre of heaven. And it's marked by Polaris and Ursa Major, which circles immediately above. So after discovering this alignment with the Wiedemann stones and the crake, I thought I would try my theory elsewhere, and it worked, allowing me to identify this great battle and all the sites in and around Aberdeenshire where Cetus was cast down into the physical earth. This is how I have been finding Cetus the beast, the Pictish dragon, overlaid everywhere as the physical shape of the estates in and around Aberdeenshire. You can see my post on Donald Trump and the Many Estate, the Many-Headed Beast, highlighting Cetus the beast, and all the pubs and buildings make up the stars, as above so below. It's verifiable, it's proof, it's there, it's undeniable. I've done it so many times all around the country now and aligned everything. So it's important that this work is looked at and shared. I looked at the stones just north of Huntly, which is the physical shape of Cetus the beast. Huntly is the shape of Cetus the beast. And sure enough, they all seem to be framing not so much the heavens as the experts and the scholars would suggest, but rather all recumbent stones in my findings are framing the very lands which became the beasts which were cast out of heaven into the earth. I hope everyone finds this research and these posts useful. I'm doing all that I can to help others escape the matrix of the religious and corporate orders which have hidden all this ancient knowledge by the introduction of mass farming and industrialization of our lands. They've tried to cover it up by industrializing the land, draining the waterways, and hiding all these things. And I have many videos showing this. Salt waterways, canals. I have many videos. In this age of Aquarius, we should be putting the religious schooling. Pisces is the age of schooling of fish. We should be putting the religious schooling behind us and looking into these things ourselves, rather than going with the controlled narratives which have been put out there to keep us all in bondage. The war in the heavens as recorded in the Bible is very true, and these narratives which have become our Bibles were the original message of the standing stones which are scattered throughout Europe. But they're not just scattered randomly, they are laid precisely for us by our ancestors as the gospel to future generations. Keep shining, stay sovereign, and don't forget to look up stuff. Much love. And the video is also available on YouTube. There's a video there. But there's the recumbent stone which represents Cetus the beast, and this is another recumbent stone. And these are the two witnesses. This would have been over here, this stone facing that way towards the beast. And this is an outer part of a circle here, this stone over here. The two witnesses are gone, the two uprights are gone. And this is the Wiedemann. There are two stones circles on the wheelment, and this is the wheelment facing towards Lumsden, and Lumsden would be over that direction, because the crack and the tail of the crack is here, in this image here, the tail of the crack. So wheelment standing stones are in this area, and the crack, the wheelment is in the, let me see, there, it's in this area, the wheelment, and there is Cetus the Beast in his original position before he fell, in an upright position, and underneath you have the sculptor, the chemicala, and the furnace. So, and again, that's,
so what we're looking at here is Sochen, and
that is the other videos that I have put together, and that is wheelment standing stone there. This here was a large valley of water, which we read in the book of Revelation. The serpent spewed out to devour, or to overtake the child, but the earth opened up and swallowed the water, and this is why we have this. It's nothing to do with Ice Age. And this is the signs that our ancestors left, because our ancestors would have travelled these waterways and seen that, and knew they were coming into an area that was controlled by the descendants of Cetus the Beast and the Tiamat offspring. And there we have Wiedemann, the Krach. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this, and share it.
so what we're looking at here is Sochen and Linton Mains, and I've overlaid Cetus the Beast as it is seen and marked by the asterisms and the estate houses. And we can see here, this is Castle Fraser. So this is the recumbent stone at Castle Fraser, and you can see these are the two witnesses either side, and the recumbent stones in the middle here. So if I was to take a line directly from there, from that recumbent stone in direction south, oh, I've just moved that, sorry, south, oh, just done it again, you're gonna get Cetus the Beast. Sorry, I've just moved that, that whole thing there. I don't know how I've done that, but there we go. But yeah, the recumbent stones are pointing towards Cetus the Beast, and where Cetus fell in this great battle. And you can see here all the way around I'm mapping. This is the drum of heaven, and I'm mapping using the standing stones, the recumbent stones, to align to find Cetus the Beast. And sure enough, it's always south-southwest, so it's showing you the next direction. Our ancestors put these stones all around the drum of heaven. They're only in the northeast of Scotland, because they're pointing to the Cetus the Beast. And I believe that the two standing stones either side are Marnock and Macra. St Macer and who became by the Catholic Church St Macer and St Marnock. And these are the two citadels, cathedrals, or two saints that are connected with the northeast of Scotland. Of course, these two saints are, I believe, the two archangels in the heavens who went down, and we know that archangel as Michael and Gabriel. And in the book of Revelation it tells us that Michael fought against the great beast, the great dragon, and him and his angels were brought down with them. So I hope this helps. All the recumbent stones are facing towards where the beast fell. That's basically what I'm trying to say. The unusual stones in the northeast, which are called recumbent stones, the stone in the middle itself represents the beast laying flat on its back, and there is the beast there. And we have the same over in Riney, which I haven't highlighted. We have the same in Huntly, and we also have the same at Rothiemay. I'm currently looking at Rothiemay and the standing stones there in Rothiemay, which we can see Cetus the Beast is almost upside down at this point. So it's this fall from the heavens. I hope this helps. Thank you.